If looks do mean everything, of course, even though you're old enough to be their parent or even their grandparent, you could always opt for a bit of youthful flesh, which is as much a draw for older women these days as it has been for the men who since time immemorial have dated younger women. Known as sugar mummies or yummy mummies, these are the women who date men at least 10 years younger than themselves. According to a survey undertaken by a dating service, 250,000 British women over the age of 45 are looking for a younger man. And it seems there are plenty of young men between the ages of 25 and 35 actively seeking an older lady. A shining example of a successful older woman, younger man coupling comes from 70-year-old Edwina, who married 31-year-old transvestite Simon, who, by the way, is also known as Sarah. Apparently, neither was worried about the age gap and they delighted in being able to share clothes. Indeed, whoever was up first in the morning got to choose what colour and type of knickers they had to wear for the rest of the day. Always game for something new, I tried this out with a partner, and I can report that while not averse to the idea, I found the pink thong she chose for me a bit of a challenge. But I did wear it, and, to be honest, having a piece of elastic sitting snugly in my rear end was a bit disconcerting at my time of life. I spent the day walking around with clenched buttocks. But having said this, when I bent over, friends and family did comment on the fact that I didn't have any visible panty line. But frankly, give me a pair of high-cut knickers anytime. Nothing else can better flatter the ego of the middle-aged than a dolly bird or toy boy on the arm. Do people still use the expression dolly bird, or did it go out of fashion with the passing of Carry On films and Reg Varney from our TV screens when he left the On the Buses sitcom? However, this aside, while having a young and adoring face peering into yours can be quite delicious, what often goes wrong is the lack of cultural reference points. No matter how hard you try, rapper Snoop Dogg is probably never going to be a delight to your ears, and the younger person involved won't know who Reg Varney was in his heyday. So being blunt here, what do you talk about over a candlelit dinner? I exaggerate, of course, but while the sex can be wonderful, providing you can keep it up, meaningful conversation about life, the world and old episodes of On the Buses can wear a tad thin. For those scratching their heads because they really have no idea who Reg Varney is or what On the Buses was all about, let me explain. During the late 1960s and early 70s, Reg, by then a seasoned TV comedy actor, played a middle-aged bachelor bus driver called Stan Butler, who lived with his widowed and bingo-playing mum, sister and brother-in-law. On the job, so to speak, Stan and his bus conductor companion, Jack Harper, were always finding themselves in a bit of a pickle with Inspector Blakey whilst driving their number 11 bus between the depot and the cemetery gates. Many of the storylines involved young and beautiful clippies, slang for female bus conductors, who found the two middle-aged lads the most desirable blokes in the world. They'd regularly join them for some slap and tickle on the top deck. Proof, I suppose, that in the world of sitcoms at least, middle-aged men can still pull young women with the greatest of ease. Perhaps it was down to their smart uniforms, and many women do like a uniform. However, your author has yet to experience this delight, but if there are any attractive young women watching this who'd like to have a one-to-one tutorial over a candlelit dinner on the positively awful non-PC British sitcoms of that period, I'm currently available. I'll even wear a bus driver's uniform if necessary and explain the role of how the now defunct bus conductor works as well. By the way, in case you didn't know, Reg Varney was the first person ever to use a cash machine on June 27, 1967 at a Barclays Bank in Church Street, Enfield. Keep this little fact safe. You never know when you may need it.